On this week's GTA 6 o'clock, celebrity radio stations.
DJ Khaled is going to feature on Grand Theft Auto 6 to host his very own music station.
Project Rome.
This is essentially a tool for user-created things.
And 3 new GTA 6 videos discussed.
Some sort of GTA live-action promo video.
It's all here on this week's GTA 6 o'clock.
Hello, welcome, bonjour, guten tag, and hello. Yeah, I ran out of languages. This is episode 62 of GTA 6 o'clock, the world's most in-depth and best-connected GTA 6 show. The show that is predicting the release of GTA 6 in November 2025, a mere 8 and a bit months away. And here to discuss all things GTA with me is Dan Dawkins.
Yasu Kalimera.
Actual language?
That's Greek.
Oh, excellent. Well, I could have put that in at the top if you had said. Anyway, let's get on with this week's show. First off, I just wanted to jump quickly back a week or so ago for when we discussed the release date that we just mentioned at the top.
Yeah.
Predicted by us to be coming in November currently. And a couple of things that we sort of skirted around, and I wanted to check back on it. Firstly, what I think is good news regarding Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
Now, as we know, that is set to come out September 23rd, which means that the marketing plans, if GTA 6 is set for November, are going to overlap somewhat. They're going to be pushing out some GTA 6 content like gameplay trailers, some screenshots that we've seen, that they would do for GTA 5, have done for Red Dead 2. That is all coming out in August, September time, which is around the time Borderlands will be out. I think the good thing here is the quote that we spoke about in that episode a few weeks ago, which is Strauss-Zelnick saying, what we found is when you're giving consumers hits, they tend to be interested in pursuing other hits. What I think works out quite nicely here is you can interpret that as they're saying people will be playing Borderlands, one of the hits, while getting excited about another hit that is coming down the line. So you can still be playing Borderlands while watching all of the promo stuff for GTA 6. And if those things do slightly overlap, that's okay.
Of course it's okay. I mean, things I'll also be doing will be like putting a load of washing on, coming to work, filling the car.
All of the day's hits.
We're all capable of more than one thought at any one time, aren't we? So,
well,
sometimes.
Speak for yourself, Dan.
All right, sometimes. And so, of course, we are allowed to, enjoy one thing whilst looking forward to another, even if they're from the same company. I think it's fine.
Yeah. And the other thing from the same company is, as we discussed, Mafia, the Old Country, set for summer 2025, within roughly the same period as Borderlands, at least, even though slightly earlier. Summer in the US is late June, like around June 20th to September the 22nd. So there's a sort of late June, July, August, sort of September window. Mafia's not coming out in September if Borderlands is coming out in September, I would argue.
No, I don't think so.
June is, the beginning of summer. June 20th is pretty late June. So you've probably got July and August for Mafia to come out. First off, graphically, this game looks amazing. Like the trailers that we've seen, it's an incredible looking game. Of course, there's going to be overlap here in the marketing timelines with Borderlands and Mafia. Maybe a bit of GTA 6 if they're all doing things at the same time. But for a game that is out in around 5 months or so, if we're saying it's coming out July, August time, we've seen almost nothing of it. Now, the good thing here is that it's another big open world game, story-driven, single player from 2K, who are owned by Take-Two, also own Rockstar, and having little marketing 5 months before release is maybe a sign that everything in GTA 6 land is going to be fine. Trailer 2 for Mafia came out at the Game Awards, which is like December 13th. That was 7 months out of a summer release window.
Yeah.
If you're going, July, August time. So, and as we've said last week, all of these companies operate independently. They're not necessarily going to be following the same marketing patterns, have the same ideas. But if there is an overall internal blanket on like, this is a good way to market games from Take-Two, feeding that into their other companies, a GTA 6 timeline would put trailer 2 coming in March or April, which I think is basically what we said last week. And before that, would still give you a Mafia 2 sort of run up to release. If you release trailer 2 in the same way that they have gone, that game's out in about 7 months. Here's trailer 2. Game is out in summer. Do that with GTA. You release trailer 2 in March, possibly even April, and you can still release it in November. So all that being said, unfortunately, I think that means we might not get anything for another few weeks, but the good news is we're probably still on track. Fingers crossed, I think.
Yeah, I'm very much inclined to agree. I do still feel good for like late March, April for trailer 2.
Don't say late March.
All right, March.
like-
then. Let's just say March.
I
Then
guess
it's
we're already in March
is
almost.
March, then it's only 4 days away from when we record, and when you listen, 2 days away or whatever it will be. I think that's probably a bit optimistic, but you never know. An overall thing I'm interested in is marketing as it used to exist in the way you promoted a game. Is it as true today of what you used to do, say, 5 years ago, where there was, for example, print magazines still existed maybe a decade ago, and then you had to have this really long pre-tail planning where you would go, we're going to do this magazine cover, we're going to do something with them in Jan, but it's not going to come out till March because magazines take ages to print. Then we have to align online. Like everything was much slower and had to be more coordinated, and people's attention spans basically seemed better. I think now it's just important to be loud in the moment.
Yeah.
So most events or releases or concerts or whatever are just really active for probably somewhere between 48 hours to 2 weeks before the thing. Some things basically, you look at the recent State of Play that Sony did, and that's not their biggest event of the year, but it's one of their pillar events. That was announced in the week it happened.
Yeah, about 48 hours before.
About 48 hours, and they're fine with that. Like they know they can do that. Press the firing gun. The world does the work for them. Social networks go, new State of Play. If you want to see the Sony products, they've got the benefit of exclusivity. So everyone's going, if you want to see a Sony product, turn up a State of Play. And then every influencer goes, see you for State of Play in 2 days. We'll all stream it together. And they didn't need a big run up. And I think it's not quite the same with games because you ideally want a lot of pre-orders or wish lists because that insulates you in terms of marketing, risk. But there's so little risk attached to GTA 6. I think they know that. There's so little risk. And they can see the sentiment from every crumb of marketing and the fact that shows like ours exist when there's been no information for 444 days. They can afford to push it and bunch it a bit later. That's my contention. But I'd be interested in, maybe at some stage we should interview someone who is a modern marketing professional who's maybe lived through the years and talk to them about how do you market a game now? What would your approach to GTA be? That might be an interesting I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think that's an interesting conversation. I'm sure with our industry contacts, we can find someone, he says famously.
Yes, I'm sure we could do that. But yeah, I agree. And I think that's the reason that we will see an announcement for trailer 2 as a pre-announcement to the trailer going live. But that announcement will only come days before. Yeah,
I agree. It could be like a Tuesday, Thursday thing, for example. And it was a bit of a longer run up. That's what they meant to do with trailer 1. It's just it got leaked and rushed forward and things got compressed. And the actual announcement was twin to them celebrating a milestone, wasn't it? So.
Right then, next up, Dan, we are delving into the world of music. And the headline that came out over the last week or so is that we might have superstar DJs on the decks for some of GTA 6's radio stations. Now, this is unconfirmed, we should say, before we dive into this, but there is a well-known Call of Duty leaker called Ghost of Hope on X, which for some reason decided to jump into the world of GTA and say that they had an exclusive that was DJ Khaled is going to feature on Grand Theft Auto 6 to host his very own music station that will also play his songs as well as other songs. On top of that, Ghost of Hope claimed that there is a potential for other real-life artists to be included as well on their own radio stations. This was all just done on X, and then obviously it got picked up by some other sites that just re-reported on the story with nothing extra added to it. As I say, there's nothing to back this up, but I think it is an interesting topic because without saying too much, this isn't the first time that we've heard something like this being mentioned, in the fact that you might get some real world people hosting some radio stations in GTA 6. And I think all of this just makes sense anyway, even if it's not DJ Khaled, because of the evolution from GTA 5 to GTA 6. You know, GTA 5 had Cara Delevingne, who was the host of Nonstop Pop FM in GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. That already sets you a precedent of we've got real world famous people hosting some of our radio stations. DJ Khaled is pretty active on Snapchat. He used to be on a Miami-based radio station as a host. GTA 6, as we know, is going to be set in Miami. So all of those things do connect. It could just be a good guess. Who knows? But we've also seen, of course, as probably a lot of the listeners to this show will know, quite a few other, musical celebrities in GTA games. Busta Rhymes worked with the hip-hop producer DJ Green Lantern for the beat 102.7 in Grand Theft Auto 4. Then he went on to promote himself in the game when he had a new record out. And then in 2021, he was hired by Rockstar to compose the Grand Theft Auto Online The Contract Update theme song with Dr. Dre, Anderson, and Snoop Dogg. We've had DJ Pooh running West Coast Classics. And T-Pain, that we talked about weeks ago, probably months ago now, did come out and say that he was working on GTA 6 with Rockstar, and that's why he can't play GTA RP servers anymore, because he's in contract with them to do something. Could just be putting some of his music in the game. He could be hosting a radio station. He's also, T-Pain is now in a big Fortnite collab in a rap diss battle track with a dill pickle, Dan, which I'm sure you'll be very pleased to hear. It's actually a really good piece of marketing, so well done. So given all of those things, Dan, do you think there are any real world DJs who might actually end up in GTA 6 with a radio station?
Yeah, what's interesting here is without knowing if the DJ Khaled rumor is true or not, his profile is interesting because I would suggest he's not actually that. He's very mainstream DJ.
Yes.
And I'm not saying my mum would know him, but he's not super obscure.
No, he was one of the key characters in Pitch Perfect 3.
Well, exactly. And I was going to say, I've seen him a tween movie. It's not a tween movie, but he's in the animated film Spies in Disguise, for example. He's gone pretty mainstream.
Yeah.
He's in the Bad Boys films, which, they're for bad boys, but they're not really because they're quite cheesy. But I like those films. But what I'm saying is he's quite mass market. Now, is that where traditionally Rockstar have lived? Not really. It's always usually for them, it's like a soundtrack featuring MC Squiggle and the Yo-Yos. And you're like, oh my God, I've not heard of MC Squiggle. Maybe I should look him up. And he's got 3 EPs and he's super obscure and he only does certain clubs. That's usually their vibe because they're quite choosy about their music. But I think part of GTA being huge will be they will open the door to big name DJs. So if they're opening the door to Khaled, ? You could also look at people such as David Guetta, Tiesto, Calvin Harris. I'm not saying I approve of these people. Skrillex, Alan Walker. Note on Alan Walker, I love that all the DJs have got names like Marshmallow and he's just called, I'm Alan Walker.
Yeah. And that's probably not even his real name.
Yeah, Marshmallow, DJ Snake, the chain smokers. Like, these are people like, I'm a long way since being on the cutting edge of DJs. I know all of these names and think of their music as good but a bit cheesy. So for someone who's like really choosy about the DJs and music, they're just obvious. They're like obvious big collabs, right?
Yeah.
That they would do. It doesn't mean their music's bad. It just means it's popular. So I think they make a lot of sense. There's something that's also interesting. We talked about this, is to look at who Fortnite have targeted, because Fortnite probably live in a similar space to where GTA want to be. So they're targeting names that are popular and big, but they are introducing some of these names to new audiences. For example, like my 11-year-old kid was talking to me the other day about Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, how do you know about Snoop Dogg? And he's like, oh, he's just done a gig in Fortnite.
He's in Fortnite.
Yeah. Or, he's appeared as a 90-foot man in Fortnite or whatever it was, right? So it's that profile of people. And I wonder if it would be interesting, because you're a Fortnite player, James, to look at some of the names who've been in Fortnite and if any of them would be a good fit for GTA.
Yeah, I mean, Fortnite have done it to this point, loads of collaborations on different levels. Like Eminem is in the game, done a music video for them, is a skin. I think Ariana Grande did a concert. Travis Scott has done a concert. Snoop Dogg turned up at Times Square.
Yes.
To do a real in-person concert that was also streamed directly into the game at a cost of however much money
that was wild.
But they've also had, some of these names are similar. Marshmello, Metallica have given their music into the game, was also part of one of the updates. Lady Gaga, The Weeknd, Billie Eilish. I think, again, like you were saying with all of the DJs, these are all almost household names that you could say to someone, have you heard the latest track from The Weeknd? And someone might go, I heard it on the radio, like mainstream radio. They're not like obscure acts that you might find on the 9th wheel of a GTA 5 radio station that you've gone, I'm just going to give this one a go. And then there's just a load of artists you haven't heard of. But I do agree that I think some of these people will at least have some of their tracks in on a GTA 6 station, and could potentially do more collaborations in that you could turn up at a club and Travis Scott is playing.
Yeah, and I think that's where it gets more interesting. And this thing we've talked about, whether it's like online, appointment to view events where turn up at 8 p.m. and this thing is going to happen with this person. You must go to this club. And you all go in and watch, like you say, like Snoop Dogg in Times Square style performance, or in the club in GTA. That feels like the destination that GTA we want to get to. So they become the place for other brands to want to launch their stuff. Like if they could get to the point where a new track debuts on stage and then in a radio station with a multi-deal, that would feel like where they'd want to be. And the Rockstar's DNA is music. They were started by ex-music PRs. So you'd think that's what they'd want to do.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Rockstar owns a record label.
Yes.
Right? And I've got a Circo Loco is what it's called. Their description is, music has always been a fundamental part of Rockstar games, from the championing of underground artists and scenes across our titles to the meticulously curated radio stations of Grand Theft Auto and the introduction of fully realized digital nightclubs in Grand Theft Auto Online and the After Hours update, as well as expanding the possibilities for in-game social spaces and music discovery. Now we are further fusing the physical and digital worlds of entertainment by teaming with Circo Loco, creators of some of the world's biggest and most influential real-world parties and one of the most recognized brands in the modern dance music, to create a brand new record label. Both of those things fusing together feel like all of that description is, hey, be on this record label. There's so many possibilities to put this into our new game that is going to last for, if you take GTA 5 as a precedent, a generation, like 10 plus years. So I think those two things feel like they're going to become more and more in sync with each other. Records releasing in the real world, but also releasing in GTA 6 when it rolls around. They've got that DJ from trailer 1, who we believe could be Toki Monster. And she's DJing in the club. She's also a featured artist on Circo Loco, Rockstar's record label.
Yeah.
One of her songs is present in GTA Online already. So there's definitely a world where I can see someone like her being the DJ for a radio station in the game as you're driving around doing stuff. And one of the links is her saying, hey, be sure to swing by the club tonight when I'll be playing on stage between 11 and 2 a.m. So it makes the map feel more like a living world. Now, that event isn't a live event. I can see that just being like, you go to the club, she's there, there's music on.
Yeah.
It's not like a live mix, although, I think there is a world where at some point that could become a live mix, turn up actually at 11.
Yeah.
You can go and see a live concert. But I just think those two worlds are just going to connect, and GTA 6 is the place that's going to happen. So next up, we are looking at GTA Online and GTA 6, which we have covered before, but there's been a bit more talk regarding the 5M CFX.RE acquisition, which might not have gone as smoothly as expected, if you believe the report that came out in the last week or so. It's actually in relation to an internal project at Rockstar called Project Rome, which is the Rockstar Online modding engine. This is essentially a tool for user-created things within GTA Online. Now, that could be missions, that could be races like we've seen in GTA 5. It could be a whole number of things. And these obviously already exist, but it does tie into our chat last week about Rockstar talking with those top metaverse creators to discuss making GTA 6/GTA Online the next big curator platform. So curators can go in and make whatever they want, and then somehow, if we're going to reference Fortnite again, get a kickback from making a specific type of thing that becomes really popular. Like in Fortnite, those curators get rewarded in V-Bucks by, people gifting them things or whatever. Some kind of system like that I can see existing. We've previously speculated on the concept of new cities being added over time to GTA Online. This could fall into that, where you create even like custom areas. If you're able to, create your own block of streets or whatever, you could create, this is the best multiplayer map for 5v5. And I've made it in GTA Online, and we can all jump in with our characters and play essentially a Counter-Strike style deathmatch or whatever. I can see all of that kind of stuff existing. Do you think, in terms of new cities being added, and I'm talking about new cities being added by Rockstar themselves over time, which we've talked about before, I'm not looking at this as like another Vice City just being plonked on. I'm not talking about like Vice City 2. I'm just thinking like that kind of size. I think that's too big for them if what we know about Vice City being as big as it is correct. But I think what you will get is like more new points of interest. So not like full city areas, but maybe like a suburb that pops up and then goes away again, or develops to be a bit bigger over time, or then shrinks back down or gets destroyed or whatever. As that's what happens in Fortnite. The map stays the same, but there are specific mini cities that change every season, or bits of that change every season. You can see it evolving over time. That's the kind of thing I think we're looking at for added extra cities in GTA Online, rather than like we're adding Liberty City.
It's an interesting parallel, because GTA Online, or with the Los Santos setting, in some respects is quite locked in some respects, but the game modes offer this incredible variety and make it feel fresh and different all the time. And that ended up in things like enormous space style loop-the-loops and stunts, and it went to places you sort of couldn't believe. Where you're right, with the Fortnite map, it feels like it's constantly forming and reforming, even playing tribute to itself. That keeps it dynamic. So I wonder if Rockstar will feel some pressure to like refresh the core world, or like you say, to go new zone, monument, theme park, whatever it is, launching, go and do a load of stuff there. And I think that will just happen, right? They've done quite a bit of stuff like that with GTA Online. I suppose notably they had the return to North Yankton, kill some zombies. That sort of area size makes sense.
Yeah.
The stuff that feels, like you say, trickier is we've just, and there's a hierarchy of this, we've just plopped on Liberty City, built to the graphical standards of GTA
Yeah.
6. That's a big lift. And to do it even to go, and then to go, and now we've recreated all of Los Santos using the GTA 6 engine, another huge lift. So I don't know quite now how that would, in this idea of a GTA world, how all that would coexist.
No, which is why I think it would be more, and even like building specific buildings where you can have, I mean, we spent a long time waiting for the casino to open in GTA Online, but that kind of thing, but on an accelerated scale of, hey, this new stadium is opening in 2 weeks, and it actually is opening in 2 weeks. So you wait 2 weeks in real life, then the stadium opens, and then something is inside it, or something happens, and then it just exists.
That's cool, isn't it? If you have a sense of anticipation, so week by week, there's like a graphical update, and it looks like it's actually being built. And then you're like, wow, it's almost ready. It's ready. Then you get to play in it and do what you want. A fun thing then would be to take it further and have like geographical time-based narrative where maybe they do launch a new stadium, but as part of the plot, there's an event where the stadium gets blown up.
Yeah.
And then it stays blown up for a very long time. That would be really... We've talked on the podcast about environmental storytelling before, and could Rockstar introduce some element of things you build getting destroyed and making you feel lost and feel the passage of time? You could do that with online very easily. I'd love to see that. I think that'd be a really exciting way to do it.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing I can definitely see coming. It would not surprise me one bit if that kind of stuff happened once we get into GTA 6's version of online, whatever it's called. But what better way to bring all this together, Dan, than to essentially get everybody on the same version now, which is what they're currently doing with the free upgrade that's coming for GTA 5 to PC, which is coming March 4th. This is for everyone who has GTA 5 on PC are going to receive a free upgrade featuring enhancements previously only available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. There's new vehicles, performance upgrades, animal encounters, improved graphic options, faster loading times, and more. All players who currently own GTA 5 on PC will be able to upgrade to this new version for free, with a one-time character migration flow to bring over your story and online progress. PC players can sign up for GTA Plus membership to get special benefits in the upgraded version of GTA Online and beyond. Now that is an interesting sentence. And then it says this upgraded version of GTA 5 on PC also features all our recent player experience improvements for GTA Online, including kernel-based anti-cheat protections, a proactive voice chat moderation to help keep GTA Online safe, secure, and fun for everyone. But let's jump back to that previous line. PC players can sign up for GTA Plus memberships to get special benefits in the upgraded version of GTA Online and beyond. What do you think that could be talking about, Dan? Beyond this version of GTA Online?
Yeah, it will be whatever GTA 6's version of online ends up becoming, whether it is still called GTA Online, they just sort of reboot it and start again. There's a whole world of conversation then about, is there a switch off day for GTA Online, or do the two universes exist concurrently? That's another set of conversations. We just don't know where that's going to go. But what they are saying is this is the pathway to the next thing, whatever that will be, and it's going to be linked to GTA 6. The thing I think with all of this is interesting is actually the first part of that sentence where it says, oh, and by the way, PC players can sign up for GTA Plus membership and get special benefits. Like, the point of giving away a free upgrade is really we're enhancing your options to give us more money in the long term. So I think the stuff is cool. They could have just put that option in and not given you anything else.
Yeah.
You've got to give them their due. It's a free upgrade. It would be interesting to see in the fullness of time like how significant the visual upgrades are and the performance upgrades. That's always a fun thing to do side by sides. And there's quality of life improvements, and anti-cheat stuff is a really big deal because that can really spoil a game. But for me, it just feels like, oh, and by the way, there's this brilliant new way to give us more money.
So cynical.
No, it's the truth, isn't it? Like, we need to add the option to give us more money, and we're hiding it in a load of quite cool free things, and that's the deal. That is the deal, and that's okay. Like, not everyone will sign up for GTA Plus, and Rockstar know that, but some people will, and now it's easier to do. I don't know if there's anything more you think's worth to say about GTA Online and beyond.
No, I mean, other than what we've just talked about, I think whatever is beyond will come with some new information soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't expect that to come with trailer 2. Like, if that is set for March/April, I don't see them talking about the next iteration of GTA Online until we're much closer towards release. Because as you say, they'll want people to keep playing the current version and signing up for everything on that before we start talking about changing people over. So let's wait and see. Now then, let's look at 3 new GTA-related videos. There's varying things to say about each one of these. The first one is that someone has demade trailer 1 to make it sort of 80s style. This has come from a YouTube channel called Welcome to the 80s. And they make original retro wave games, music, animation, and pixel art. So they've taken trailer 1 and they've de-resed it to make it look like a very good 80s pixelated style game. As I say, like, we just wanted to highlight this because I think it's very cool. Even the way that they've done the Tom Petty music track is great.
Yeah.
Like, it all works. It's brilliant. So you guys should go check it out and tell them, if you are over there on their YouTube, that we sent you so they can get some love. But Dan, I don't know if you had any extra thoughts on it other than just highlighting it for listeners in case you haven't seen it.
It's just cool. I think what's interesting is that there's something about the vibe and the aesthetic of that trailer that translates even when it's in 8-bit, and it speaks to a wider sense of design and panache with the trailer that even when physically it looks worse, it just looks great. And that will be relevant as we talk about another trailer later on.
Oh, wow, okay. That's a good bit of foreshadowing there. That bit isn't now, that bit's for later, but for now, there is something to say about these clips, which has been suggested that it could be a GTA 6 advert, or is it a GTA 6 fan film? Let's discuss. The first thing when people saw these clips, obviously, that they jumped to was that it was some sort of GTA live action promo video. I can see why people would do this. Like, they have a reasonable sized crew on set. They've shut down an entire street in Tampa to film this. And the lead actor, as we would call them, is wearing a very similar outfit to Jason. But the flip side of that is Rockstar have never done a live action trailer. Given all of the secrecy around GTA 6, would they be filming this in the middle of a street, like a non-closed set in the middle of Tampa with someone who looked like they were wearing the same outfit as one of the leads from their first trailer? Probably not. And allowing people to film it and post about it? I'm not sure that was going to happen in real life. And actually, from doing a bit of digging on this, it looks like that this is from a company. Well, the company that was filming it was called In Trouble Zone Productions. Now, ITZ Studios and In Trouble Zone Productions say that they produce movies, reality TV shows, scripted TV series, and documentaries. They are based in Florida, in the Naples area. On the same day that these videos coming out going, oh my God, look, they're filming something GTA 6 related, that company posted on X saying that they were filming a cool action movie / video game in Tampa today. Now, the actual text of that tweet didn't say video game. It just said filming a cool action movie, which is already a little bit dubious. And then the next follow-up tweet was filming in Tampa, Cigar City, coming at you. A little bit of fact check here. At its peak, Tampa produced 5 million cigars a year, earning it the nickname Cigar City. Now, at first, because as you all know, we are recording this in the UK, I thought Cigar City might have been a code name for like a film or something, but no, it turns out it's just that's what people call Tampa because of its cigar manufacturing heritage. So there you go. The only way I can see this being something related to GTA 6 and not a fan film is that it could be one of those PlayStation style ads where they make real people portrayed as in-game protagonist in a whole bunch of games and say like, you are the star of the, games on PlayStation or whatever. So you do get people who are dressed similar enough for you to go, oh, that's a reference to that. That's but not a direct reference for someone to come at you and go, you're just literally copying our character. Like there's an outside chance it could be that, and they're filming this for some promo that comes out like Christmas time. Possibly. But I'm 10% in on that theory.
That is quite interesting, and that would have some precedence and would also allow it to be a thing that exists, because it doesn't feel very Rockstar to do this.
No.
And it's like you say, it's so ripe with the chance for it to be speculated and spoiled. So it feels like something they just wouldn't do. But yeah, Sony or Xbox doing something like this, maybe, where they go, we want to a piece of your marketing campaign. You look at the footage, there's like a large, bright, luminous Lamborghini or whatever it is, like really smart car. There's someone wearing, there's the sort of Jason person who looks a bit like Jason, very deliberately like Jason. There's also, and whether this is relevant or not, there's like footage of, I think a woman wearing like luminous yellow outfit, which looks like not an outfit. Well, put it one way, where we live, people probably wouldn't wear that outfit. Maybe in Florida, every single day people are wearing like full luminous yellow bodysuit capes. But it looks almost like the Handmaid's Tale outfit, but luminous yellow. It's just a bit weird. It looks a bit video gaming. Now, whether that's, to your theory, from GTA, or is it a character from another game walking through the GTA universe or something, that might be an idea. And I haven't thought, this is something I'm just thinking about on the fly. Is there a character that matches that character? I don't know. But that idea makes more sense to me than the idea that this is a Rockstar production.
Yeah, I'm going to say very much not Rockstar production. Could be third party and someone taking the vibe and saying, okay, we can mirror GTA and put it in the rest of our shots and make something like that. Or it could be any other company riffing off the GTA 6.
Of course it could, because people with brains will go, what's the biggest cultural event of the year, entertainment event of the year? It's GTA. Beginneth the lampooning.
Yeah.
Let's do something that sounds a bit like, there's so much media and content out there. It could be anything.
Well, prepare your lampoon gun, Dan, because we're about to talk about the next thing that it's GTA adjacent. It's not GTA specific. And this is the Mind's Eye trailer that was released in Sony's State of Play about 2 weeks ago. This, again, is coming in summer 2025, like Mafia. So that means sometime between June and September, which, if both of those dates hold true, means that this is directly competing with Mafia. Now, Mind's Eye is, of course, from Build a Rocket Boy, which is ex-Rockstar North president Leslie Benzie's studio, set to be published by IO Interactive, which is the Hitman publishers, also working on a 007 game at some point. The trailer description says captured on PS5 Pro and is a mix of gameplay and in-game cinematics. And I think what this looks like is, I guess, what GTA would be if it was set in the near future. And there could have been a conversation around this when discussing like the next path of GTA, when all of these people still worked at Rockstar. We've seen this kind of near future thing, or spy thing at least, played with before with Agent. That didn't ever happen. The cancelled GTA 5 DLC, which then became GTA Online DLC. Like that kind of stuff they've always sort of played around with, but GTA is very much based in reality as much as it can be. And this feels like it's going one step beyond, like even near, like it's sort of,
Oh yeah, it's quite
2021 or whatever.
Yeah.
2100. That's what I meant, not 2021. But
Yeah.
we're 100 years
Yeah.
forward in
Yeah.
the timeline, possibly. So that, I mean, there is some gameplay in here. You would probably argue that the bits that are looking behind the car as it drives around the city are close to gameplay.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of it. But I mean, if I was picking between the two, I'm probably playing Mafia.
Yes.
Okay.
I just to root back around to what I said earlier on, I think there's a panache and a production and a style to the GTA trailer that perhaps is not as evident in this trailer. Technically, I think the Mind's Eye trailer looks great. Footage looks great. Game mechanically might be very good, but the aesthetics feel like a vision of the future from 2010. And that's probably actually too late, more like 2008. It reminds me of when I used to work on a PlayStation 2 magazine. You would routinely get press releases from AA style games starring people who may as well have been called Jacob Diaz, and he was an ex-CIA operative with a bionic arm or whatever. That was just very de rigueur back in that time period. So in many ways, whilst it's about the future, it feels quite passé to me. The devil's in the detail, and let's wait and see. Technically, it does look brilliant, but it's not, for me, got the evocation or this sort of compare it to, for example, like the Death Stranding universe, which you may love or hate, but it's not like the Death Stranding world is just some boring rip-off. It's ridiculous and mad and idiosyncratic, and this doesn't feel like that. But let's wait and see how its design is, and is it a good game? Maybe it will be.
Yeah, and yeah, as we said, it's soon, right? If it's coming out in the summer, we're going to start to see more and more of this in the next few months, as we are with Mafia, hopefully. And it'll be interesting to see how those two marketing timelines align, if they do. Like, when do we first see the next glimpse of Mafia? When do we get to see the next glimpse of this? Like, they're going to be pretty soon if they're going to hit their summer dates. So we will see. And I think you should all let us know, are you more inclined to be saving your time for Mafia? Are you interested in Mind's Eye? Is there something else on the horizon? We've mentioned Borderlands, but is there something further afield that actually you're going to fill the time with before GTA 6 comes out? Let us know if you're watching on YouTube in the comments. You can contact us on Twitter at GTAVOclock, or you can drop us an email, gtavio'clock@gmail.com.
I was thinking of the Greek word for goodbye, but actually we just say yeah again, usually, or that's it.
Okay.
So, yeah, there we go.
Well, what a great ending to the episode 62.
Yeah, sorry, it feels like that one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, okay. Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will be back next Wednesday for another episode of GTA 6 o'clock.